confirmation on a trout.
Prime time bite. But that's it, we're just fishing Alright guys, Jeff Gustafson here for Northland Fishing Tackle, and we're out today up in my part of the world in northwestern Ontario's Sunset Country region, and this is one of the best places as far as being you know, easy to access where you can go fish for lake trout. And we've got lakes that have lots of them, good numbers, and we've also got bodies of water. We're on Lake of the Woods today where you got a legit shot at a 20+ pound fish, big fish. So just gonna go over a few things on how to catch them and where to fish. So I've got a variety of baits on right now. The new Tuff Tube, these things last forever. We've over the last few days have caught lake trout, pike, walleyes, everything bites them, and they're you know, the tube's sort of been around forever, and these things have a lot more life than your traditional plastic tube. Lake trout like them. The last several years, one of my favorite things has just been the Impulse smelt minnow, and that's just with the big 3/8 ounce slurp jig. Lake trout, for whatever reason, white, you can never go wrong with white, but they do like a little bit of chartreuse. I sometimes will put a chartreuse bait in with my white baits just to, you know, bleed a little bit of color into them, but I'm using a chartreuse head on this jig. Works good. And, you know, if you're on lakes like woods where there's some walleyes, I always have a little buckshot spoon ready to go. Sometimes you get walleyes chasing those trout baits around, and they'll bite that. The lake trout will bite the buckshot spoons too. If you put that in front of them, guaranteed. But these plastics, the reason why they're so good and so popular is the lake trout water is pretty clear. So these have the ability to just sort of call fish in from a pretty wide, you know, wide area. They can see these baits from a lot farther away than you think they can. As far as location goes, you know, they like to be close to deep water, and they you know, so any kind of structure that has a good ledge off it, and it could be the side of a hump, a point, just a bluff cliff wall, any of that where there's an edge where they can push bait up against it, those are the kinds of places where they're going to be when they're active and feeding, and where you can make contact with them. Hooked up here on the classic white tube, the 4-inch Impulse tube, 3.5 inch actually. But the trout bite's been a little bit of a grind for us here, so I just sort of went with the more subtle, smaller bait, and we'll see what happens. You guys didn't drill me a 10-inch hole? Come on.
He had the 10-inch auger.
I don't know what we got here, but I'm getting an arm burner in my wrist, so there's my leader, so we're getting pretty close. I got slush in my hole, so it's gonna really be a surprise on what kind of comes up here, but you see anything? Oh yeah, there we go. Nice, Laker. Thanks, bud. Sweet. Took us a little while to get that one going, but that's it. We're just fishing a kind of a little channel here with a deep hole, and there's lots of bait going by. It's like 50 feet of water, but there's big packs of smelt and herring going by, and that's what these trout are eating, and that's what I got them on, just the simple white tube. That's put more lake trout on the ice in North America than any other bait over the last 20 years, guaranteed. Works everywhere, and they like it, so good stuff.
Hey, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
There we go. Now that's what I'm talking about, baby. Big old walleyes.
Look at that right there.